Oh, hi, boys and girls. I wasn't expecting you so soon. I was just having a nice, refreshing drink of water. It's my most favorite drink in the world. All right, I'm going to put my water down right now because you're here for some fun with science, right? All right, and we've got a fun one planned for you today. In our fours class in preschool, right now, we are doing this letter. What is it, all you 4 and 5-year-olds? You're right, it's the letter W. And the thing that we're doing today starts with the letter W. What we're going to be doing is we're exploring something in nature called the water cycle. And the water cycle is something that occurs over and over again every day. It's pretty amazing how God created water. It's really, really an interesting process that it goes through. So today we're going to learn all about it. Now, I did bring in somebody from yesterday because yesterday it was raining really hard. So I invited in my friend from that rain. Let me get her for you. Here she is. Hi, boys and girls. Do you know what she is? Can you take a guess? You're right. It's a raindrop. Now, here's the big question for you. What is a raindrop made out of? Did you say water? I thought I heard you. It is made out of water. And it's incredible the adventure that these raindrops take. So let's find out what happens to a water drop when they start going through the water cycle. Say goodbye to the raindrop. Okay, Professor ImCrazy back and ready for action. Let's learn about the water cycle. So what happens first? We're going to start down here in the water. We're going to pretend that this is a little pond or a lake down below. And right here I have my friend Drippy. He's down floating around in the water. There's a whole bunch of other little water drops down there too. So the first thing that's going to happen in our water cycle is the sun is going to come up for the day. And what does the sun do? You're right, it keeps us warm. It heats things up. It heats up our earth. It keeps us warm. It keeps animals warm, plants warm. The sun is very important to us, and it also gives us light. But in this case, the sun is going to be warming up the water down below that's here on earth. Now, as the sun does that, the water starts to change into a different form. Not all of the water, but some of the water droplets. So what happens is the water, actually it's kind of like invisible to our eyes, but what starts happening is the water starts turning into a vapor. All those water droplets change from a liquid, water, into a gas, a vapor, and they start drifting upward. It's kind of like, did you ever blow on a mirror or on a window? Not really blow, but like huff on it. Huff some hot air. Let's see if I can show you. Do you see that? How it got blurry? That's because I put some water vapor on it. You can't really see it coming out of my mouth when I on a window or on a mirror, but you can see it on the surface. There it is again. Gets a little bit blurry, doesn't it? And then you can even write on it. And I can feel how wet it is then, so it is still wet. All right, so water vapor starts going up into the sky. So I'm going to put a little up arrow so you remember which direction it's headed. It went from the lake, was warmed by the water, and then warmed by the sun, and then the water vapor started rising. Now up in the sky, it doesn't just disappear. What starts to happen is that water vapor, and I'm going to teach you a big sciencey word. It's going through a process called evaporation. So the water is evaporating. It's vaporizing up. And here it goes. And all of a sudden, a whole bunch of little water vapors are going to unite and be friends up there in the clouds. So they're all going to get together up there. So we have our little water drops. And they're just kind of hanging out up in that cloud, and it's really, really cold up there in the clouds. So those little water droplets start to come together and join up and get a little bit heavier. Now, when they start to join together and become bigger drops of water, it's called condensation. Can you say that word? Condensation. The little water droplets condense. They join together. And when they join together and a whole bunch of them join together, they turn into a really big drip. And when they're a really big drip, they get a little too heavy for the cloud. So after they condense, they get too heavy and they start to fall back down to the ground again, back to the lake or the ocean or the ground, to the grass, to water the grass. And what's that called when water starts coming down? Did you say rain? You are so smart. It is rain. It starts to come down as rain. Now, us scientists use a bigger word for rain. Would you like to know what it is? It's precipitation. Can you say that word? Precipitation. So the rain starts to precipitate down to the ground. Precipitation. Wow, you are learning so many big words. And then the rain comes all the way to the ground and it goes right back into a lake or a pond or a stream or a river or into the grass because we need water to make plants grow, to water the grass, to water beautiful flowers. We need water to give us water so that we can drink and so that we can take a bath or a shower, because without that, woo-wee, we would be very, very stinky. Nobody would want to talk to us then. So that is our water cycle. So let's review. The little drip of water starts down in the water, and then the sun starts to warm it up, starts to get really hot. So the water turns into a vapor or a gas, and it evaporates. Evaporation, it's going up in the sky where the clouds are very cold. All those little water droplets that were vapor get together. They start to condense. They start to join together, and it's really cold up there, and then they become water droplets again. And the water droplets start to fall from the sky, and that's called rain or precipitation. So I'll make my little arrow going down for the rain, but then when it gets down here, it starts all over again. It starts with the collection down here in the water, then it goes evaporation, condensation, precipitation, collection, evaporation, condensation, precipitation. And it keeps going around and around and around, and that's the water cycle. Now, would you like to sing a song with me about the water cycle? It goes to the tune of, it's another W word, the wheels on the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round. But we're not singing about a bus or about wheels. We're singing about the water cycle. And a cycle goes round and round. So we're going to start, this time we're going to start up in the sky. You can start anywhere on the water cycle because it goes around and around in the same order all the time. All right, so let's start at the sun. Let's make a sun. The sun in the sky heats water on the ground, heats water on the ground, heats water on the ground. The sun in the sky heats water on the ground, and the water cycle begins. The water on the ground evaporates up, evaporates up, evaporates up. The water on the ground evaporates up and turns into a gas. The vapor in the cool clouds condensates, condensates. Push it together, condensates. The vapor in the cool cloud condensates and becomes a liquid again. Water droplets in the cloud precipitate down, precipitate down, precipitate down. Now it's raining. Water droplets in the cloud precipitate down, and we call it rain. The water cycle goes round and round, round and round, round and round. The water cycle goes round and round, again. And you can do it again and again and again because the water cycle never stops happening. So we always have wonderful fresh water to drink. Hey, I did some W words. Wonderful water. Excellent. Well, thank you for joining me and learning all about the water cycle and how wonderful water is. We're going to have another experiment. You know how Professor ImCrazy always shows you an experiment that you can do at home? Well, that video is going to be next. So be sure to watch, and we'll see you soon. Drink lots of water. Bye.